Aloha! I'm taking you along with me as I explore this beautiful place I call home, Big Island in Hawai'i. This is my homie Eden in her natural habitat, sitting under some ulu trees, preparing some coconut for us. She always has this epic collection of tropical fruit. One of my personal faves is durian. And check out this sacred cactus. We were in Waimea, stopping at a health food store, and noticed the jacaranda trees were in full bloom. How gorgeous. So of course we had to stop and climb because life is all about playing. Stopping and smelling the flowers. Check out this hibiscus and the color palette of these bougainvilleas. I pull so much inspiration from in my art. I also love the smell of the pua kenikeni. That flower is intoxicating to me. It's not pictured here, but manifestation happens quick. That was my journal cover and boom, I'm there. This is a Waipio Valley lookout. Eden and I are writing 3 pages a day, long form, as part of the Artist Way program. And I couldn't help but reflect upon the history of the valley as I was there thinking about King Kamehameha. Known as the Valley of the Kings. King Kamehameha was raised here, and there's so much sacred warrior energy. There's an abundance of fresh water. Actually, Waipio means curved water, and taro or lohi patches of kalo. This is my dear friend and mentor, Nola. I call her Nola darling, and my homie Minnie Watt introduced me. Minnie Watt's from Arizona. Nola is in Hawaii, and we were admiring this congregation of geckos on this lipstick palm on Nola's property. I was saying hello to this Norfolk Island pine tree and really dug this black bamboo. I love seeing how sunlight dances in the canopy of the trees. These are some nitrogen fixing trees. Love this time of day. Dusk. There's a word to describe it called bimulus. I read it in a children's book once. I don't think it's a real word. These calico kitties greeted us back at Eden's, along with Theo the dog and Tiger the cat. Really felt connected to this kitty cat. We went down into the valley with the help of Coconut Chris. We were invited, so blessed to be invited, and thank you, Chris, for doing all the work, really. We were able to take in the scenery, and Chris is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to plants. He does so much work in rehabilitation of the valley. He is a master farmer, gardener, arborist. We're crossing rivers and streams, and check out this valley. It is just breathtaking. Here we are collecting fresh water. Vai, which is the first part of Waipio, means fresh water. This little heron hanging out in the stream. Really admire these lohi, these kalo patches. It's a really sacred practice in the valley. Achucharu, I think this fruit is called. We were munching on this and picking hitchhiker weeds. This goosefoot is the indicator that it's the weed. We also harvested, I think it's called lolu. It's a type of nut that grows in the valley, and I was so drawn to this lotus flower. It was truly a blessing to be connected in this way. Surrounding me is such a prime example of agroforestry. It's really close to my heart to observe how nature functions and learning how to mimic that. This mature black bamboo, I think, would be such a beautiful building material. This is Coconut Chris showing us his projects in the orchard, and his dog, Cacao, who was born here in the valley, is totally in her happy place, as are we. I mean, this is truly paradise. This is Eden harvesting some soursop. I believe it's called guanabana in other places. I forget what this plant is called, but you could use the seeds to make a rattle. Here we are sipping on coconut, eating durian and soursop. Thanks, Coconut Chris. Here's cacao leading the way on the King's Trail, surrounded by the abundance of all the tropical fruit. That's pomelo. I truly feel that all the colors, especially the shades of green, ease the weary soul. Here in Hawaii, we are so fortunate. Here we stopped at the waterfall. I wrote and gave offerings in the form of prayer and song, swam in the waters, and had a beautiful conversation about the marriage of permaculture and market gardening, how to produce an immediate yield of food, yet think about future generations and rehabilitating the soil that's been so depleted from monocropping like in the sugarcane. Here we are walking on the King's Trail more. We were talking about how our hands are healing. God is in our hands, and we stumbled upon some cacao and munched on that. We were so fortunate to link with Cindy, who lives in the valley. She's a master weaver, and she made us these beautiful woven hats out of palm. And here I am, barefoot walking, one of my favorite activities. Thank you, Cindy, for this beautiful hat. Driving, passing all the varieties of taro, these kalo patches called lohi. I'm just blissed out and taking it all in. It is inexhaustible, the world of plants, and yet I think it's so intuitive at the same time. Back at the horse ranch, I was really fortunate to commune with these majestic beings. There's so many wild horses in the valley, and these ones in particular take people on horseback to tour the valley. I was really connected to this one particularly. He would close his eyes when I would give him a good pet. And I feel like horses really attune the nervous system. I was told if a horse backs up, to stop and take a deep breath, to sink and attune. Ha means breath, and Amaku means ancestors. This is Star Max. He bangs on the back door if I don't let him in. He's my bud. He basically owns me. He's a street cat. Super independent guy. Love him. Feed him every day. And I recently adopted 2 kittens. They're so cute. That's Lychee, my striped boy, and Kiwi, my little black girl cat. They're brother and sister, and I give them like a million kisses a day, even though I'm kind of allergic. Torture myself. This is my homie Lauren. She's an intern for Go Farm Hawaii. And here we are. This is some cassava growing. There's such a high level of productivity. I'm super impressed. I go weekly to help her out a little bit in the garden. This is a noodle bean. I love being connected to the food I'm eating and learning about the plants. I love eating fresh salad. All this is organic. This broccoli was so cute. Look at these rows. As an example of market gardening, and the buzzing of the bees and the color of these yellow sunflowers bring me so much joy. Love this little cucumber house. It was super productive, and the cukes were growing huge. This is us harvesting homie Eden and Dakari in the garden. It's fun to garden with friends. So much more gets done. Doesn't matter if it's rain or shine. I am blissed out. Love playing in the dirt, in the mud. My inner child is stoked. This is like gardening ASMR. I love the crunch, for example, of harvesting the rainbow chard. So satisfying. Or the color of this neon zinnia. It's almost holographic looking. It's like I could hear the adorable little bunch of mushrooms singing next to this coffee plant. Coffee is something I'm so connected to, and going deeper, understanding my relationship with coffee. It's an interesting medicine. And my friends also love to cook food that comes from the land. This is some kraut and a stir fry with some mushrooms and hamakua mushrooms. Always want to remember this salad dressing was so good. It was like a macnut miso honey salad dressing. All of this is local. Eating from the earth, supporting local farming is really aligned to my values. My hope is to be nearly 100% like a homesteader. This cabbage and this kraut that has turmeric in it is the bomb diggity. Big Island is the root chakra island, so I eat a lot of turmeric and ginger and beets. And I've been loving this juice made with cucumbers, parsley, lemon, ginger, and apple. Love green juice. So good. Or these papaya boats is also one of my favorite snacks. When I go to the farmer's market and get fruit, I love topping it off too with mac nuts and coconut mana. This is my sweet friend and mentor as well, Gregor. We meditate together. I make him pie. We have deep conversations and love going out to eat, especially at Tina's, having their mango sticky rice. So good. I grew some cat grass and hung this window perch in the little cat room I created for my kittens. And I have a semi-stressful job as a program guide at a treatment center working with young adults and teens. It's an outdoor horticultural therapy program, and on my off shift, I love to be in nature to regenerate and restore. Sunlight scattering through the trees, like mentioned, komorebi in Japanese, and forest bathing, the word is shinrin-yoku. I love how these words exist in Japanese, and there's not an actual word for this in English. I get my best downloads in nature. And by the running water, because we are mostly water, and the moon affects the tides within us, the ocean within us. This is a waterfall we found. So many waterfalls in Hawaii. This donkey cracked me up. He was super angsty. Definitely related to his general personality. I feel like I relate a lot to animals more than people sometimes. He loved to be pet though. He kept coming back for more. And of course, I had to go home and snuggle my kittens. They're so cute. Stitch together inspiration and integration from the day through song. I love meeting my friends at the beach. This is Honoli'i. It's a surfer beach in Hilo. Also love making art. I can be such a homebody sometimes. My kitty cats like to participate too. We turn on cat TV so they don't, get too into it, but it doesn't last too long. And they get a case of the zoomies sometimes. It's really cute. Here we are making vision boards. It's been a powerful manifestation tool to become clear about what it is I'm calling in. I love doing this around the new moon and doing more of a release around the full. It's amazing how quickly it creates manifestation. I have a few tools for this. Also been really loving sigil making, which I think are manifestation symbols. This is my friend Sha making her vision board, and Aaliyah making hers. Sha and I are close homies. We love to chant together. We practice SGI, Nichiren Buddhism. These are some of my other friends in faith. The Soka Gakkai International Buddhist Center in Hilo just opened up. I was practicing in New York for about 6 years, and I recently attended the youth general meeting and shared my experience, and it was so empowering. I love to meditate. It helps really regulate me, and I pray and chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo to really create my dream life and help maintain my sobriety, having practices, stabilize my sanity. I love doing mindful walks and watching the sunrise and sunset. I do go out on occasion. I particularly love jazz night at Keikoa Studios in Hilo, Monday nights. I listen to jazz like every day, so it's super rad we have this on the island. This is my friend Nick on stand-up bass. He came to visit me. It was really cool. And my friend Sarissa on the mic. This was a really amazing little private show I stumbled upon one night. And this event was put on by my friends Asha, Groovy, and Zen. It was a collaboration of artists and musicians. I was really blown away by this. I love my job because I'm outside all day. Look at this, what surrounds me. The sea turtle, which I do not intentionally get near. This one comes to me though. His name is Radar. I love the sea turtles. Honu, I'm so connected to. These are some of my coworkers hanging out. We had like a water outing that day, and then after we had poke. So good. We also, as staff, volunteered for Hawaii Environmental Restoration. It's called. We're removing non-native plant species from the trail to help stabilize the ecology of this subtropical rainforest. It's really struggling due to rapid ohia death and just the general, redevelopment. The development of Hawaii is having an impact. So we're Lohang the Aina. Aina stands for land, and it's so amazing all the microclimates on this island. There's so many different things that grow in different parts, like the ferns in particular I'm very connected to, and these wild orchids. Yeah, this was our crew from weeding that day, and thanks for checking out some of the things I love about Big Island.